Right, there's a lot going on with Trump. And he's not even president yet. So firstly, this is online, BBC. New York prosecutors, we can see the article, have vowed to oppose President-elect Trump's effort to basically quash his sentence. He's been convicted in the Stormy Daniels hush money case. The prosecutors, he says, I can't be in jail when I'm president. I can't be in jail when I'm president. So they're saying, well, okay, we'll give you your sentence after you leave office. Well, for obvious reasons, he doesn't want that. So he's going to quash it, basically. We've seen this movie already. So he's got a guy who's going to be his attorney general called Matt Gaetz. And this is a separate story. Gaetz is one of the weirdest appointments they've ever seen in Washington. He's already got a whole scandal that he's involved in, which is about him having sex with young women, 17-year-olds, essentially. And once you move them from state to state, when he's driven someone from one state to another, then you may be committing an offence. There's now an allegation that he was seen having sex with this woman beside a swimming pool. I say woman, 70, she's a schoolgirl, So that's a bit seedy, Owen.
Well, drug-fueled parties with...
And drugs as well,
sex workers.
And he's not even taken his job yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just quite interesting because a lot of the people behind Trump are the religious right who talk about morality, and yet they've trying to appoint an attorney general who's alleged to be having sex with very young women at drug-fueled parties. No, I mean, what's opposite? Look, I mean, Donald Trump's been convicted, and I think his criminal record speaks for itself. I mean, we'll see what happens because he's in a very vengeful mood. I've just been to the US. I went to Trump rallies, my natural habitat. And this is a different Trump than last time, partly because he's gone through this criminal process and he wants vengeance. And
he does, yeah.
Matt Gaetz is someone, obviously, a very unsavoury figure, as most of the people around Donald Trump clearly are. But the fear is he's the instrument of getting that vengeance. And that might mean pursuing some of the prosecutors who went for Trump in the first place.
Without a doubt. Because you say he's been convicted and that's it. I mean, it's a little bit of a weird one. It's about the payment to Stormy Daniels to stop her story coming out in advance of an election. But a lot of people don't see that as a really major crime, Angela. That's the thing.
Well, OK, so the thing is either crime is crime or crime isn't crime.
Well, that's not really true, is it?
We have the whole issue in this country.
Well, we have
shoplifting, is shoplifting a crime or is it just somebody...
Yeah, but you don't get life for shoplifting.
No, you don't. But what I'm saying is either something is on the statute book or it isn't.
Okay.
I think in the case of Matt, I never pronounce
Matt Gaetz. It's like Bill Gates, yeah. It's Gaetz, but it's weird.
I always want to say Gaetz.
No, I do too.
Yeah. Gaetz. Is that obviously he's denied the claims and he's not actually been charged with anything, has he?
Well, OK, so there's a number of things. So I'm just following this closely. There was a congressional inquiry, dropped because he left Congress to become Attorney General. There was a police inquiry, didn't go anywhere. He seemed to be in the clear until yesterday, when you then get two witnesses saying, we were at a party, we walked outside and he was having sex with a 17-year-old by the swimming pool. And I think one of the witnesses is a friend of the 17-year-old. So I don't think this is going to go away. Separate guy, Pete Hegseth, who'll become very well known because he's a Fox News presenter who's the new defense secretary. Okay. Now, here's a very interesting one. He has got a tattoo which is associated with white supremacists, and it says Deus Vult, this tattoo, and that means if God wants it, it happens.
It's from the First Crusades as well.
From the Crusades.
Glorifying the 11th century Crusades. Which were, Christians butchering Muslims and Jews in the Middle East.
So basically, God wills it. Why are we killing everyone? Because God wills it. Now, do you think there's something wrong with that tattoo?
Yeah, well, it is associated, no doubt, with the Christian far right. And again,
far right.
It just shows the sort of people we're dealing with here, because he's someone who's clearly had multiple affairs and in terms of extramarital affairs, but he's also accused of potential sexual assault. He's under investigation.
Yeah, that as well. Yeah.
So, it's just interesting, again, you get, these evangelical Christian, we're going to restore Christian morality, and their private lives say something else. And it just goes to show what it's actually about is policing minorities and people seen as...
No, I don't know. There's another theory, which is that what it's actually about is annoying you. He basically wants to get the left-wingers to go absolutely crazy about all these... It's like a boxing match where you just let them punch themselves out.
And that's what graffiti is about. It's tattoos. Tattoos are like a kind of personal graffiti. So instead of scrawling it on a wall saying Labour out or Tory scum or whatever it is you're going to do, you do it on yourself because then you've executed personal responsibility. I think it's remarkable that within the frame of the legislative frame, that if you are being examined or pursued or investigated for some kind of criminal offence, that you can still stand for high office or be appointed to high office, which is a whole world in itself. And if it can happen to if the president is immune, then anybody is.
Also, when you say it's about annoying people like me, well,
for sure.
Yeah, to a degree, that's what Trump. It's not about me personally. I don't have main character syndrome. Trumpism is not a coherent vision for society. It's about a series of backlashes against, whether it be, I don't know, black people fighting for their civil rights or migrants. I mean, it's emotional impulses. It's not a coherent platform for what society should look like. I don't like Ronald Reagan, but he had a clear plan for what American society should look like, and he changed society accordingly. This is a bunch of very unsavoury people who are motivated often by bigotry and anger at the way the United States has become, but they don't have a clear plan for what the country
Well, let's see. Because he's so powerful now. He's got the Senate, he's got Congress, House of Representatives, he's obviously got the White House, he's got the lot. And he can. This is the moment to use his power if he wants to.